Hi, I'm Angela Jones and I work for Suffolk Family Carers and I'm a family advisor in the ND team. And today I'm going to be talking about the zones of regulation. And in this workshop we will be discussing what are the zones of regulation, what is self-regulation, emotions and colours, and using a toolkit, and at the end I will give you some useful links. The zones of regulation. The zones of regulation is a framework for teaching children and young people strategies to develop self-regulation and management of their emotions. Leah Coops created the zones of regulation in 2011. Leah and her team provided training and resources for schools and individuals looking to use the zones framework with children. What are the zones of regulation? It's a motivated skills-based method, an easy language to understand and talk and teach regulation. It's a structured framework with developmental series of lessons, and it can be adapted for your child, children, and your environment. What the zones of regulation is not. It's not a one-size-fits-all framework or a behaviour approach. It's not a discipline framework that's intended as a punishment, and it's not about teaching the 4 zones and feelings associated with them. Self-regulation skills. Self-regulation is the ability to understand and manage your own behaviour, thoughts and reactions to feelings and to the environment around you. This entails you to being able to regulate reactions to strong emotions, such as excitement or anger, frustration or embarrassment. It's being able to calm down after something exciting or upsetting has happened. It's being able to focus on a task or to refocus attention on a new task. You're able to control your impulses or urges, and you're able to behave in ways that help you socialize with other people. Self-regulation skills. Executive function skills are cognitive skills which control our attention, our long-term and short-term memory, our logic and reasoning, and auditory and visual processing, and managing our emotions. So why is self-regulation important? It helps us to stay focused. We're less likely to act in impulsive and aggressive ways. We're less likely to withdraw when we are overwhelmed. We're able to make friendships and have good social skills. And we become more independent. It gives us the ability to make appropriate decisions about behaviour and learn how to behave in new situations with less guidance from others. And the best thing is you can be taught how to self-regulate. Emotions. We all have feelings, whether it is happy, sad, worried, excited or angry. Feelings are natural. It is okay to experience these. However, neurodevelopmental children may need help to recognise these feelings and emotions. Firstly, you need to work with your child on recognising different emotions. How do they feel when they are happy or sad or worried? You can do this through teaching them to recognise facial expressions, body language, the sensation, the feelings inside your body, and your tone of voice. You can do this through activities such as using emojis or role play, drawing faces, reading books, or even emotion charades. It is important to teach your child that all emotions and feelings are okay. We experience emotions and feelings. It's what we do with ourselves, and to keep other people safe around you in the expected zone at the expected time. The zones of regulation are a check-in for children to identify their emotions and feelings by associating them with 4 different colours. Zones of regulation helps children to recognise their own triggers, learn to read facial expressions, develop problem-solving skills, and to become more attuned to how their actions affect other people. There are 4 zones: blue, green, yellow, and red. Here we are with the zones of regulation chart that we can send out to people. And in the zones, we've got the slow zone, the blue zone, where you're sad, you're bored, you're slow, you're tired. In the green zone is the best zone, where you're happy, you're focused, you're calm, you're in control. In the yellow zone, you could be worried or excited. You could be silly or nervous, confused, anxious. And in the red zone, you're angry, you're out of control, you rage, you terror. You could be physical, either hitting somebody or smashing something up, or even yelling. So when we're in the blue zone, we could be watching TV before bedtime. We're feeling unwell, or when we've been working hard. This is an unexpected zone to be in for when we're focused and learning. We're expected to be in the green zone when we are alert, focused, or we're learning and working. An unexpected zone to be in when we're excited or overstimulated. We're in the yellow zone where we're playing or celebrating an occasion or trying new experiences. Our senses are heightened, we're not focused, and we can need to calm down. We're in the red zone when situations happen that we cannot control. Our bodies tense up and our adrenaline runs high. We need to release the pressure. We need to keep ourselves and others safe. Here's another way that you can learn your children about what emotion they're in what zone. This is just one of many you can find on YouTube. And this is, guess what Disney zone the characters are in. Toolbox. We use an imaginary toolbox in the zones of regulation. A carpenter would use a toolbox full of tools that are specific for a purpose. For example, they'd use a saw to cut wood or a hammer to hit a nail. We use a toolbox in the zones of regulation for the same purpose. All children are different, and we need different tools or strategies that will work for your child. You know your child best. Both you and your child need to think about strategies that would help them to be able to self-regulate, and this will be your child's toolbox. Different tools. There's sometimes different tools that you could use. They could be physical, jumping on the spot or running or going for a walk. dancing, hugs, singing, blowing bubbles through a straw, or skipping. Could be relaxation, like deep breathing or finding a quiet place, drawing or reading, rocking gently. You could be doing yoga or listening to music or writing in a journal. Sensory, fidget toys or a weighted blanket or cuddly toys, sand, slime, lights, stress balls or chew toys. And lastly, social, you could talk to somebody you trust, or play or stroke a pet if you have one, or you could play with friends. Check-in. So now that you and your child have discussed the strategies they will use for each zone, it is important that you check in with your child on a regular basis every day throughout the day to see what zone they're in. It's no use checking in with your child when they are already in that heightened state. Praise them when they recognise what zones they are in. Children respond well to praise, and the more you do this with your child, the easier they will get to just recognise what zone they're in. Role model the zone you're in to your child too. I'm in the green zone. I'm having a lovely picnic in the park with my family. That way, the whole family can check in with each other. And lastly, there are many ways to use the zones of regulation. You can design your own zones of regulation chart to suit your child's interests. For example, you could do Minecraft or Lego, your favourite characters or dinosaurs or animals. You can get some free printables on the internet. For example, Twinkle is a good website to use for free downloads. You can buy from the internet shopping sites such as Amazon and Etsy and eBay. You can also download the apps on your phones or your tablets, both on Android and Apple. And a good website to go on to, and it's full of information and videos and downloads, most are free, on social and emotional learning concepts and strategies to help them reach their social goals, whether neurodiverse or neurotypical. And that's a social thinking website with the link below. And here's a song that you can play to your children as well. And it's a bit of an earworm, so you'll be singing it all day long. And that helps them with the zones of regulation to understand it. Thank you for listening.